Guys, it's Mrs. Holden, and I'm back with a new art project for everybody, kindergarten through 5th grade. And it's another art project that anybody can do no matter what kind of art supplies you have at home. You could have a lot of art supplies and make these, really wild and lots of colors, or you could just have a few simple items at home and still make a really cool art project with what you have just laying around the house. So, today's artwork, what we're going to be doing is called a mandala. Here's the word mandala. And a mandala. Mandalas are generally a circular type of artwork, or some people call it radial art, where it's always surrounded around the circle. You're not going to typically find a mandala that's any other shape besides a circle. The designs you put on it can be whatever you would like, but there's, again, surrounded by a circular radial shape. A type of artwork that people make that just kind of gives them a peaceful feeling when they're working on it, or even looking at it kind of makes them find some inner peace. It kind of creates a zen, is the word, a zen kind of atmosphere while you're working on it. And they're really fun to make. So I have a couple examples I'm going to show you first, and then we're going to do one together. So this one I made using marker, and this one's kind of, it's got a lot going on, and it is this circular shape, this radial artwork that's centered around that circle. And then this one in particular, I picked some of my favorite colors and just went with that. So we have this one. That one again was marker. I have this one here that I made using a piece of cardboard. I had it laying around. I actually cut it out of, look at this, my daughter's baby box. I actually just put a bowl right on the baby box, traced it, and then cut it out. And this is a little thick to cut, so you may want to ask mom or dad to help you with that if you're interested in this one. And then I literally just, dug into underneath my cabinets, and I found my tin foil. Tin foil's awesome because it doesn't need glue. It just clings onto whatever shape you cover. So I covered my cardboard, see it's underneath there, and I just wrapped it around, and then I got this cool surface. And then at first I ended up using a pen of all things, and I just kind of indentated my designs, and then I had a Sharpie laying around. You don't need to put your Sharpie. I have the picture to follow the video before I did the Sharpie, but the Sharpie just is kind of an extra little thing. If you have one, great. If you don't, just use like a pen or a pencil to engrave your design into this one. So that one's pretty cool. And I do have some pictures of how I did this one and a couple pictures of how I did this one. So we can do one together real quick. Oh, I also did, sticking with our nature video from the last time, I had this cut piece of wood, went outside, found some flowers and some rocks and laid them on top and made a mandala out of nature. So again, using things you have laying around your house. So here's the first step you're going to want to do. You're going to trace a circle. You can draw one if you're really good at drawing circles. And if you're not, or you've tried and you tried, you can just go find some things laying around your house. So I have a bowl. That's a perfect round circle to trace. Maybe you have some, I don't know, a trail mix can or oatmeal can or whatever really works for this project. So I'm going to go ahead and use this bowl. And I have a piece of paper. I have a notebook. If you don't have a notebook, or you're like, Mrs. Holden, I don't even have computer paper, what am I going to use? I was going through some of my mail, and, ask your parents if maybe you have some junk mail or something. But on the back, they usually have this really kind of nice blank sheet of paper you can use. So that's junk mail, guys. Blank sheet of paper right there. I'm going to use this notebook that I have just because I'm sure a lot of you guys have these kind of papers at home. So I'm going to take my bowl, I'm going to lay it down on my paper, and I'm just going to trace it using what I have. So I have a pen. Again, you could use a marker or crown, a pencil, whatever you have, just, use what you've got, guys. So I just traced my circle, and so now I'm ready to make my mandala super creative. If you don't have a ruler at home, you can use a straight edge of anything. You're going to split your mandala in half first, and mandalas are super, super symmetrical. So typically, whatever you see happening on one side of the mandala, it should be happening on the other side. And that goes along with the top as well as the bottom. So the mandala is pretty well balanced throughout the whole piece of art. So for a straight edge, you could use a piece of mail, you know, just kind of draw straight down. If you don't have a piece of mail, you could use the edge of a box, maybe a cereal box or whatever you have. Again, mine's going to be not so straight because this is kind of hard doing upside down, but it'll be fine. So I start off with like a giant plus sign, up and down, side to side. And so in each one of these 4 sections, you're going to want to try to match up your artwork. So if you do lines coming from the center and going out, I'm going to do 3. If I do 3 in this one, I'm going to do 3 in this one, 3 in this one, and 3 in this one. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So that's just a start. You do not have to break it up into 3s. That was just a number I picked. You can leave the sections without any lines running through them like that. It's really up to you. There's no wrong way to do a mandala because they're just whatever you feel or whatever you can think of that you're putting on a circular kind of piece of art. So then you get to decide, what am I going to put inside of these shapes? Could it be a pattern? Maybe in this one you're going to do some curved lines that start at the top, go down to the bottom. Maybe the next one you're going to put something different like circles. Okay, and then if you want to keep a pattern, maybe you go back to that curved line, circles, and so on. So you would repeat that pattern also down here, here, and here. You can get even more creative and do things on the outside. You could do, you know, triangles, something super simple. You could even do, you could do curved lines, you could do spikes, you could do dots. Any of those lines that we've learned in art class, use those in your designs or create a new type of line or shape or just, again, whatever you can think of. This one here is very similar to the one I just showed you. I started off sectioning my mandala and then I did separate sections inside. And then I just repeated a pattern of my favorite colors. I then went on the outside and made these petal shapes and also did a pattern with that, blue, purple, outlined them in black, added some extra little vines or whatnot. So that's my mandala. I have 2 that my children did. So here's one that Emmett colored. Not too bad for a 4-year-old. And here's one that Everly did. She's working hard. She's getting some good practice in with hers. But again, just, you know, see what you can find around your house to trace to make that circular piece of artwork. Mandalas are supposed to be fun. They're peaceful. And again, there's no wrong way or right way to do it. Whatever makes you feel balanced when you're doing it, that's what you want. So let's see what you can come up with. You can email me your mandalas, or a lot of your parents have been private messaging me on Facebook, which is also fine. So I would love to see what you can come up with and try to just do whatever you can with what you have in your house. Maybe you're going to come up with something that I didn't even show you today. So good luck, happy art, and I miss you guys, but I hope to see you soon. Bye.